Isekai is as varied a genre as any other in anime. Sure, there are a lot of similarities between them, but the differences can make for nuanced storytelling. One factor that we'll be exploring in today's video is soul merging. Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Danon. I'm currently reading over 600 manga and light novels, and my two favorite genres are fantasy and romance. As I'm sure you know, most YouTubers who are trying to turn this whole YouTube thing into a career also have a Patreon. On my Patreon, there's a tier where you can request that I do a video on a topic of your choosing. This month's video was brought to you by longtime Patreon supporter Waffles, and the book he asked me to read was Did I Seriously Just Get Reincarnated as My Gag Character? Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. This series is available over on Bookwalker. You can pick up the light novel or the manga adaptation. I'll be showing images from both. Our story begins with the usual bored part-time worker suddenly waking up in a fantasy world similar to the VR MMO he was playing in real life. However, rather than his main, he wound up as his alt. His alt, who was also a girl. So, gender swap fans, you're in luck. I suppose I should explain the whole main alt thing for those of you who don't play MMOs. MMOs are time sinks. Before I quit World of Warcraft, my main, a paladin named Elanwyn, yes, I named her after Princess Ionwyn from Black Cauldron, and once transmogrification was introduced, I always made sure she had a princess crown. Had 273 days of playtime on her before I quit, and she was only one of 10 or so max-level characters that were raid-ready. Each class has its own unique playstyle, bringing different benefits to your group. The same thing is true in Final Fantasy XIV, but unlike WoW, you are not class-locked. So the only reason to roll an alt is to re-experience the main story quest, which is about 500 hours long at this point. As I said, MMOs are time sinks. You can spend weeks or months trying to grind for a single item. Currently, I've spent the last few weeks trying to get the Heavensward Greatsword for my Dark Knight. I rarely play Dark Knight, but it is one of the coolest looking weapons in the game. Now, I say all this not to brag about my characters or skills in the game, but to let you know that I have almost 20 years of experience playing MMOs, and have come to some realizations. There are two types of MMO players: those who create self-insert characters, and those who create characters outside of themselves. All of my characters are outside of myself. I don't insert myself into an MMO character. I don't really roleplay very much. Sure, I have ideas about things my characters like and don't like, but I don't fully immerse myself as if I were the one in the game. My characters are separate from me. It's probably why I'm usually the dungeon master and not the player. And so, if I were to get reincarnated into either of my mains, the one from WoW or the one from Final Fantasy, I'd have some extreme body dysmorphia issues and personality conflicts. Just like our main character from Did I Seriously Just Get Reincarnated as My Gag Character? Now, just like there are two types of MMO gamers, I've noticed there are two types of insert characters in Isekai. Let's define that real quick. What I mean by insert character is when a character from Earth reincarnates into an existing person in the new world. In some anime, the characters who are Isekai just have a new body formed, or are born as a new person. Kelvin in Black Summoner came in as a fully formed adult, while Rudius came in as a baby. Sometimes they get summoned into their original body, like the wrong way to use healing magic or the saint's magic power is omnipotent. But many times, you have a situation where the memories of the person from Japan are inserted into a pre-existing person. Ascendance of a Bookworm is an example of this, as are most of the video game Isekai. Now, in the case of How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, our main character just became his video game character. Same thing with Overlord. Their personalities were already alike. Mine entered into the body of a girl who died in the night, so she has no memories of the life she took over. But then you have a series like Seirei Gensouki, Spirit Chronicles, where the merging of two souls in a single entity causes pain, confusion, and quite a bit of body dysmorphia. Now, it wasn't as dramatic as it was in Spirit Chronicles when our main character, Toru Aikawa, suddenly awoke in the new world as his gag character, not Shoten. I know, it's in the title, but Aikawa's gag character was meant as a joke. He used a mod to make Nox's in-game voice sound as cute as possible. Aikawa hired an artist to design her to be stunningly beautiful. And most importantly, Aikawa built his character in a non-optimal fashion. Yes, Noct can do absurd damage, but Aikawa sacrificed survivability in order to attain his ideal. This character was meant to be in a party. Sure, Noct could dodge incoming AoE attacks from the boss, that's area of effect for the uninitiated, but with low defense and low hit points, she generally needed to stay near the back of the fight. So now, as a character never meant to be a solo player, Aikawa finds himself alone in a new world. But he's not really alone because he also has Noct's thoughts and personality running around in his head. Aikawa's emotions are a swirl. In real life, he was a college student who cared more about playing video games than working or graduating. And now he finds himself in the body of Noct, a girl he basically designed to be an idol. She's the life of the party while Aikawa avoided parties. Noct saved the pretty girl while Aikawa is incapable of talking to girls. All of a sudden, Aikawa's thoughts and emotions have been blurred together with Noct's. That is what makes this series interesting. The idea that we can be influenced by the characters we create. Of course, we are influenced by what we consume. You are what you eat, and the brain devours writing. Reading helps to change neural pathways in your brain, opening up new thought processes. So, is it any wonder that when Aikawa became Noct that his entire personality changed? Honestly, I wish this concept was explored a little bit more in Isekai. In fact, I wish it was explored a bit more in this series as well. Unfortunately, after the first 100 or so pages, Noct and Aikawa are basically the same person. There's no longer a diametric personality split. The series doesn't explore the concept of merged souls any further. The remainder of the book was just a fun power fantasy. Not bad, but it did not live up to the introduction. So if you're wanting something fun with an interesting premise, you should check out Did I Seriously Just Get Reincarnated as My Gag Character? I can't speak to the rest of the series, but the intro was fun. In my experience, light novels tend to have interesting hooks, but then just sort of descend into mediocrity after the first few. It is rare for me to stick with a series beyond book 4 or 5. If the author doesn't keep things fun and interesting, I quickly lose interest. There's only so much time in the day after all. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Sean, Borgie, Nazwin, Midge, Alex, Konga, Aaron, Chris, Robert, Austin, William Pye, Turner, Triz, Kazaris, Slack, Buxu, Patrick, Vox, Liam, and Travis. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.